Let me step in here so we can talk. So it's definitely been a long time since I've picked up this camera, and it's been a long time since I've given y'all an update. It's been a long time since I've been inside this van and worked on it. And that is the real struggle here, is that it has been maybe 2 months since I've worked on the van. And it's been really disappointing in a way because I was on such a good roll and I was seeing my work progress and the van turn into something that I've always wanted it to be. So to have to stop that is just like a sucky situation. But the fact of the matter is that I'm here to tell you that we're getting back to it. So I'm going to sit down, we're going to talk a little bit about what's been going on, where I've been, which isn't really that big of a deal. I guess I can just tell you now, but the point is that I moved out of my dad's house, moved into my own house, and we've just been in the process of unpacking and getting comfortable and fixing things that we found that just aren't quite right. The van has been here with me, but it hasn't really felt like quite the right time to step inside it and start doing things inside it when I haven't even fully settled into the house yet. So I'm here, right? So I'm ready to get working on the van, and we'll talk about the reasons why. Yeah, so I'm gonna put this camera down and I'm gonna sit down and we're gonna talk before all the work gets started. So, hold on. Okay, so first things first. Last video, I let you guys know that we had fixed the radiator in the van, but I didn't include the footage. I'm here to tell you now that the van radiator, water pump, and some other components have been replaced. I was a big help, I will say, but I am going to include that footage right here, right now. What are we pulling out?
This radiator and the water pump. You remember how I was calling you and asking you about
how many hoses it had?
Those are links to the 2 hoses that you put inside. You did.
You know what I was looking for. Yeah. Oh my god. Why don't you think I can do it?
I just like to see you do it.
Oh, it's heavy. It's heavy. I need 2 additional arms.
Just let me know whenever you're ready for me to pull it out.
You're the one that asked me to pull it out. Okay, I'll help you.
Bitch ass radiator.
Dirty. I'm picking out wrenches and I'm trying to figure out what size I need. I'm using his tools. I look like a professional out here, but I'm wearing my house shoes, which is funny. Because yesterday we spent all day working on the van, only to realize that it was still leaking once we started it again. And then we came up with the game plan. We were like, okay, when you get off work, you go to AutoZone and you get the the sealant stuff, and then you gotta take off these like 3-4 parts, and then by the time I get off and home, we'll do the rest. And I was like, aye aye, Captain, I got this. Yep. And I'm on the last step that he told me to do, so I'm feeling pretty good about it. Before we moved into the house that we're living now, we stayed at a friend's place, and I drove the van that was completely packed with all of my stuff to their house, and I filmed a little video clip because I felt kind of emotional in that moment, and like I just felt like I needed to say something for future reference without necessarily filming a whole video about it. So I'm going to include that clip here. I don't even know if you'll be able to hear me very well in this video, but I just wanted to, I don't know, make some sort of clip for myself to look back on and see that I'm currently driving the van after spending the last 3 days replacing the water pump, the thermostat, and the radiator, along with some hoses. Doing that together with my boyfriend after a little over a month since my birthday trip, where we were supposed to go and camp out towards the beach. And when we got to the gas station, we realized that we were having issues with the van, had to drive it back home, blah, blah, blah. So this is just, you know, confirmation that we are able to do the work ourselves, that we can learn and adapt through the process, and that ultimately Beluga Becky is here with us to stay, to help us create stories, to help us travel and see the world, even if that part of the world is down the street and around the corner. But I'm currently driving because I have, as of tonight, officially moved out of my dad's house, and I'm currently in this limbo state before I move into another place. So currently moving the van to a friend's house so that it can stay safe. I don't know if you can see here, but the van is packed up with literally all of the tools and materials that I have used, currently using, still need to use. But the point is that the van is up and running. We're packed up and moving. And before we know it, we'll be settled and stable and ready to work again in preparation, fingers crossed, for a small trip for Thanksgiving time. So I'm going to leave you here because the light's about to change, but I just wanted to check in and give a little message of gratitude for myself in the future. So look back on this and be thankful. That being said, we fixed the radiator. We were able to drive the van to the place that we were staying, and then again to the house where we're living now. So the van is good and drivable, and she is ready to be worked on. Now, I have said in the past that I am terrible at making plans and then following through on those plans and then being upset at myself for not following through on those plans. So somebody commented saying that it's better to just create a to-do list and check it off as you go, rather than like saying that you're going to do certain things in a certain order at a certain time. I digress. The point is, I have created a to-do list, and these are not things that are going to be completed in this video, all together, but these are just things that I'm going to be working on until they're finished and until I have more things to add. Ultimately, my goal is to have the van in a position to drive her on a little trip before the end of 2020. Tried to do that for my birthday, it didn't work out. Originally, I was like, oh, I want to try and get the van ready to go on a trip for Thanksgiving. Well, we're in that Thanksgiving week, and I don't feel confident or comfortable with how the van is, both mechanically and with the build, to go anywhere. So my new goal is to just do the work that I can to get it to a place where we can go somewhere during the Christmas break before the new year. So things on the to-do list include unloading all the materials that are in the van right now, cutting and attaching the last face piece for this bench, cutting and attaching the pantry doors for the overhead cab compartment, attaching the lagoon table mount, cutting the bed tabletop surface to size and then attaching it to the lagoon table mount, cutting the kitchen countertop, painting the benches and the walls a clean, crisp white, staining the wood ceiling, so I need to wipe that down and stain it. I need to build the electrical cabinet, so the electrical cabinet's going to go right here. That needs to be built. And then also, again, installing the tabletop surface and the countertop surface, and then installing all of the electrical components. There are other things that need to be done, like the cushions need to come in here, and they need covers, and we need window covers, but I mean, those are things that I could do whenever I feel like it, in another time. So those are the things that I'm focusing on in general. But today, my main focus is just cleaning up the mess that is this van. It's really not that bad. A lot of this stuff is already out, but I need like a clean slate in here before I can get started and I feel comfortable. So that's about it. I think that's all I needed to update you on and that I felt like I needed to say. But yeah, so I'm gonna clear this clutter out and I'm going to start on whatever I'm called upon to start. Since I already have the stain open and I still have a little bit of daylight, I am going to stain these like ledges that I have for the tabletop surface because I like the idea of the contrast between the white, the brown wood, and then like the pop of blue. And also the tabletop surface is going to have this same stain. So I figured it would be good to use it there also, to tie it all together if I feel like it. I don't know, it depends on the timing and the daylight. I may even go ahead and do the ceiling. The ceiling's not a promise, but I'm about to do these ledges now. All right, I'm back to work again. Now yesterday I stained the bench ledges and the doors for the pantry. I'm gonna do a second coating of that stain on both the doors and the ledges, and then I'm going to stain the ceiling. Now I also want to attach the doors to the pantry, but I don't have enough screws. Also, I need paint thinner to clean the brush that I'm using to stain. I've already been to Lowe's today and I completely forgot, so I might run back again to get those supplies, but that's what I'm focusing on today. So I'm hoping that by the end of the workday today, all of that is complete. Stuff is spilling out. I ran out of stain, so I had to go get some too. The sun is going down, so I don't have much daylight and I need to leave the house to go do laundry. So what I'm about to do is just finish the ceiling and then clean my brush, close up shop, and get back to it tomorrow. Oh my god, dang, rude.
What's that?
It's just a clear coat, protective finish. I don't think I talked to the camera yet today about what we're doing. Jocelyn's painting the cabinet door background framing. The pantry doors got a clear coat yesterday and another clear coat on the back side, and it's drying. So hopefully those can be attached sometime tomorrow. And then the rest of the day I'd like to focus on the kitchen countertop. But I've got to get Babe to pick that thing up and bring it in here. So we'll see how it goes.
It ain't too heavy.
Heavy for one person, but This door was not easy to put up, and while it's up now, it is in no way even and level. But to be honest, I don't care enough to try and do it again. So I'm just gonna move on to the next one and get it over with. The sun sets in about 30 minutes. I have finished the kitchen overhead cabinets, and now I'm going to quickly do the first coat of stain on the countertop. It still needs to be cut, but I figured it'd be best to at least just stain it and get it ready for the rest of the processes that it has to go through. So I'm going to do that quickly, pack up for the night, and then I'll be out here again tomorrow.